The network is the product. And we have to really take a product-centric lens to how we design and build the economics and think about the value proposition of it. So the first iteration of the network, which is where we are today, and we're actively working on iterating and building on top of it, was the setup to, one, be fair and equitable. That was the primary thing that we were trying to do. We wanted to make an open network that is fair and equitable and levels the playing field. So what was important over there was that today, I'm not sure everyone understands the economics of stablecoins. So maybe let me take a 10-second detour and explain the economics, and
Please,
uh,
please.
touch on the touch on how we sort of thought about the design. Today, when you take a dollar and you go get a stablecoin, what is happening in the background is a net new stablecoin is largely getting created over as existing supply continues to grow. Net new stablecoins get created. So your dollar is held by, let's say, USDG. It comes to Paxos. You're obviously going through one of the business partners. We are a B2B company. We take that, and as stipulated by our regulators, which is, there's a very simple box that we worked with. We can't, the value of USDG and any stablecoin comes from the trust that you can always redeem it for $1. To be able to redeem it for $1, we can only invest in very specific things that ensure short-term duration and the ability to sort of, you know, mint and redeem at scale. So we invested in overnight treasuries and short-term and repo that enables us to generate yield on it. We generate the yield for every dollar that is created. Today, that if you're good at your job of portfolio management, which Paxos is the best at, we are able to generate close to the overnight interest rate on an ongoing basis. So we take that and existing stablecoins to call that all revenue. The minimal thing that we wanted to do was that if you, Drew, have a stablecoin and platform, and you're leveraging stablecoins and you're holding it, that we want to give you the interest associated with that, all of the interest. So we do that. But then what happens is that if you help drive adoption into the wild, as we call it, in a self-custodial wallet or a platform that is not a part of the network, the issuer still earns interest on it. And that interest we could have kept it, but we've taken that interest and said, how do we now make sure that anyone who's holding any of the assets gets all of the value, such that they don't have to compete and they don't have to stress about, going and getting a better interest rate in the market because they're getting the best interest rate for the dollars that they're holding and custodying on their platform. But for anything that is in the broader ecosystem, how do we design it in a way that we can give you proportional value? This exists in adtech. Having come and built in 4 years in adtech, that there's a concept of cookies and attribution, and you can track who helped create the asset, who moved it, who accepted for payments, what did they do with it. And the beauty of blockchain is that we can track all of that, and we built a system that allows us to attribute the key behaviors that mattered to the network over a period of time. We picked the first two, and we were in the early growth stage of the network, and we picked the attributes that matter to the network and for the partners. And we take that broader ecosystem and circulating supply and divide that into key rewards that we pay out to the ecosystem of partners. So that's how we design the network. The network also has a network advisory council. We partner together to make key decisions. So it is democratized. It's sort of like candidly Web 2.5. I think it's not a DAO or any of that, but it does give rights and governance and the ability to have a say in things. And so we spend a lot of time in what decisions matter, how they get made, how do we drive economics. That was the phase one of it. But as new partners have come into the ecosystem, what we're also starting to see is the underlying infrastructure and interconnectivity start to come to place. And so now we're spending a lot of time on the fact that, we have WorldPay in the mix and MasterCard in the mix and OKX that has connectivity in Asian markets and Robinhood that has global connectivity. That gives, if you think of a stablecoin as a network and you think of all the nodes and the infrastructure that are coming to place, Rain that powers, stablecoin cards, all the necessary conditions that anyone needs to be able to work with stablecoins are coming into place.